Hello and welcome back. In my last video, I covered DeepSeek AI at a high level. We talked about how DeepSeek came to be. I talked about the timeline of things. We covered a little bit about how that disrupted the US market the week that it was released. We talked about DeepSeek being open source as compared to OpenAI and other big players and the large language models that exist out there. And then we eventually installed DeepSeek locally to have like our own instance of AI running on our own machine. And then one of the things that in the end I did say is I was hoping that I could spin up some kind of monitoring or network monitoring tools just to see. Reason being, there's been a lot of chatter about DeepSeek sending your data to China and Chinese servers and so forth and all that. So at a high level, this is what we're going to cover in this video. That said, this is not like an in-depth DFIR or digital forensics that we're going to be looking at in terms of how DeepSeek works and so forth. But high level, I'm just going to be grabbing some traffic. We're going to be looking at some IP addresses and so forth and all that. The goal here is to not be subjective about anything. I'm just going to be try to be objective about what we're doing here. Just we're going to look at what we see and then just see what happens there. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to look at a multi virtual machine structure. I'm going to have 4 virtual machines. 2 of them will be running Ubuntu, basically. Over here, I said Linux or Macs, but I'm going to be running Ubuntu for both of them. And then I'm going to be running Kali. The reason I'm splitting these up into 4 separate machines is we can run all of this in one machine, pretty much like on a Kali machine and test this out. But I'm just trying to do this so we can sort of like ensure that DeepSeek traffic is like the only thing we're looking at, just so we can isolate the traffic and maintain kind of like a clean and accurate capture and so forth. So what are the virtual machines going to do? The first one is basically our test machine. This is where we'll just spin up DeepSeek. We'll run DeepSeek web, actually the web app. We'll go to deepseek.com, whatever, and run traffic. And then in our virtual machine 2, which is our traffic interceptor, we'll have Kali running that. I'll be using burpsuite. And then on virtual machine 3, which is where we're going to be capturing some network traffic and packets, it will be an Ubuntu machine that I get Wireshark. I have Wireshark installed and run some TCP dump commands as well too. And then the 4th machine is more like what we call our threat intelligence machine. This is just basically we're going to look at suspicious IPs and domains and things like that. High level, nothing sophisticated here. And then I'm going to cover these as we go along. So just bear with me while I spin up my virtual machine hypervisor, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So as I mentioned, as you can see, I do have 4 machines set up. We're isolating the machines just primarily because I want to isolate the traffic as much as possible. So I'm just kind of like delegating the task to different machines. I could easily have run this on one machine, like Kali's got a lot of the tools that we're actually going to run, but I'm just doing it on purpose so we can isolate as much as traffic as possible. So the first machine, which is our test machine, is just we'll navigate to deepseek.com and then run several commands just to see what happens there. And then on the second machine or third machine here, although it's in the bottom here, what we're gonna do is install Wireshark or run TCP dump just to grab some traffic as well. In this Kali machine at the top here, that's where we'll run Burp suite and inspect like the web traffic, HTTP or HTTPS traffic. And then on this last machine, we'll pretty much like just run other tools such as like Shodan and VirusTotal and all those things just to kind of see what's going on there. So let's get started. What I do want to do initially is at least like run some updates on these machines just so we know everything is up to date for as far as everything I need. So I'll just do sudo apt update, and then I'll make sure I run the same thing here. And then I'll do the same thing in the Kali machines as well. Let's do that here as well too. Just fire up a terminal. Should be fairly straightforward. So I'm just running the package manager just so, oops, what did I do here? update, sorry. All right, awesome. And then I'll do the same thing here. Just let these run. Let's clear that. Well, this one is done. Clear this one here as well. I'm going to make this terminal a little bigger so we can see everything we are working with. That looks like it's done as well too. And then just last here, sudo apt update. So we're good. So that's it. I'm going to set up these machines one at a time. Nothing really, most of these tools should actually exist on a lot of these tools, these virtual machines, especially the Kali ones, but I'm going to set up a couple of things on the Ubuntu machines. And I'm just going to do, I think Firefox is already installed. That's the one thing I'm going to use. And on this one, Firefox is already installed as well too. A couple of things I'm going to do though for the Ubuntu machine, just so we can isolate traffic, as I mentioned, I'm going to prevent it from doing any kind of like background updates and things like that. So let me just do that while we wait. I'll just do a sudo systemctl and stop apt daily dot service. So there you go. Perfect. So I stopped that, and then I'm going to do the other command, which is pretty much disable it. I'm just going to disable that because it stopped already. I'm going to do a disable. So now, oops, what am I doing wrong? Disable. Disable. Good Lord, I can't spell. Disable. All right, cool. So that's good. And then let's see if there are a couple of things that I should do. I'm going to go into Firefox here, and then I'm going to disable a bunch of things because I don't want Firefox sending a lot of that telemetry stuff. So that said, I'm going to go into about :config, and then I'm going to say continue, and then I'm going to search for telemetry. I'm going to search for telemetry that enabled, and then I'm going to toggle that to false. All right. And then I'm going to change a few more things. So let's find data reporting, health, upload. The reason I'm doing this is Firefox is just like super noisy when you're doing these things. So, and then I'm going to do browser dot safe browsing malware. I think that's the one I want is the malware one. Safe browsing. And one of the things you'll ask is why, because the whole point of this is I want to capture everything. It doesn't matter. Like I'm trying to just grab everything that I see when we use this site. So that's pretty much it. So malware enabled, I'm going to toggle that to false as well too. Just a few other things that I was concerned about. And then actually let me do about preferences. And then privacy is the one I want. Awesome. And what I'm interested here is actually disabling DNS over HTTPS. The reason being DNS, so just to kind of high level overview, DNS over HTTPS pretty much encrypts our like DNS queries and so forth. I'm just trying to get everything here. So hence why I'm disabling this. I want to see everything that this traffic is going to be querying and so forth and all that. Yeah, perfect. So that should be done for this one. Okay, so Firefox is done. Let me minimize this for a little bit. And then I do need to configure a few more things. What I'm going to do here is just set up some rules. We'll set up some firewall rules and traffic forwarding. That said, I'm just going to do some environment variables here. Let me just grab this. I have this. Let me just grab that. Actually make it easier. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially saying I'm forwarding traffic I'm creating an environment variable for the HTTP proxy, and I'm forwarding traffic to IP to virtual machine 2, which is our Kali Linux on the right here. You can see my mouse moving. So I kind of need to grab the IP address here as well. And that's 192. So I'm going to copy that. And then I'm just going to close that and then paste that here. So I'm setting up some environment variables for now. And then I'll do the same thing for HTTPS, pretty much same thing. And that should be good. And then what I do want to do is set up some firewall rules. And I'll explain that just briefly when I pretty much put the command in. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up a firewall rule, and I'm saying add this to the list of firewall rules already. If the traffic isn't going to if traffic isn't going to virtual machine 2 on port 80, just drop it. So I'm dropping everything there. So let me paste that. What was it? 192.168.52.138. Awesome. So we're adding a firewall rule. I'm saying if the destination is not via virtual machine 2's IP on port 80, you should drop it. And I'll do the same thing for port 443 as well too. The goal here is we're forcing traffic to go through this machine on the right, which is our Kali machine, because on here we're actually going to route it through Burp suite, which is going to be on port 8080, so we can grab the traffic. So let me just hit enter at that. And then I'll do the same thing for 443. Perfect. So that is actually pretty much done for virtual machine 1. We are done with the setup completely. So I'm going to move on to virtual machine 2, and then we're going to set up a few things as well too. Okay, so let's set virtual machine 2 up, which should be pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do is fire Burp suite, just verify that traffic is being routed to the local host. And then I'm going to install the Burp suite certificate since it's a new machine. I haven't done that yet. And then we pretty much are done with that setup, and we'll move on to virtual machine 3. So that said, let me open up Burp suite. Burp suite is the tool that we're going to use to intercept the web traffic, popular tool as usual. And go to next, start Burp. And in the meantime, I'm going to open up Firefox. Okay, let's set this up. Burp suite is good. Let me check the proxy settings. I'll go to the proxy tab. I'll go to proxy settings. We can verify that it's running through port 8080. So I'm going to close that, and I'll make Burp suite just a little smaller. Did I close that? What did I do with that? Okay, it's still running. And then I'm going to open Firefox. And just to make sure that I'm running my proxy for Firefox, only because I'm trying to install their Burp suite certificate. So Proxy is a plugin you can use just to help you with setting up proxies in Firefox, or you could simply go to the settings and set that up as well too. I just find this plugin a lot easier. So I'll do http://burp, and then we'll do install certificate. I'm going to open it up. I'll drag that here. Details, whatever. So I'm going to do certificates in Firefox. Actually, let's do settings. Let's do settings, and then I'm going to do certificates, and then I'm going to view certificates, and I'm going to install a new one because that's what we're trying to do. So import. This is already there in downloads. Trust this certificate to identify websites, and then OK, and then we're good. And just to check if it works, I'm going to close Firefox and pull it back up. So http://burp, or go to any site, and it shouldn't be any issue. So I'll go to google.com. Okay, so we're not getting a certificate error because we installed the Burp suite certificate. So I'll go there, assuming that I want to make sure that Burp is fine and running. Go there. Where's Burp Suite? I'm just gonna close it. I don't know what's going on there. No. Okay, so why can't I see it? Let's close that. Make that a little smaller. And why is Burp Suite? Okay, let me close this out. Yes, I'm not sure what's going on there. But as you can see, that is configured, so it shouldn't have any issues. I haven't changed anything. Let's go to next start. And then I'll go back to Firefox. Okay. So where's Burp? Oh gosh, it's hidden somewhere. Like, what the heck? There you go. Okay, perfect. So if I wanted to check if our intercept is working, I'll just do this. So let me go back to Burp. I'll do target and I'll proxy and I'll do the intercept is on. And if I do google.com, you should see that. So that's working. So I'm just going to turn it off. Perfect. So this is pretty much set up as well too. Now let's set up virtual machine 3. We'll go back to our Ubuntu machine. So let me activate this one. And what I'm going to do in this virtual machine is to set up a few things as well. What I do want to do is install Wireshark and TCP dump. Just in case it's not, I'll check it. But that's kind of what we're going to do in this one. So let me log in and then we'll take it from there. Let's see, what am I doing here? All right, perfect. So let's get a few things installed and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the tools that we need for virtual machine 3. So what I'm going to do is, just to make sure if it's not installed, sudo apt update and sudo apt install Wireshark, TCP dump, and Suricata. All right, so what does it complain about? MongoDB. All right, cool. I don't care about that right now. So and then now I'm going to set up the firewall rules. What I'm doing here is we're filtering out all traffic. I want to filter out all unwanted traffic and just keep it to what we're concerned or what we're interested in. So I'm just going to grab the commands as usual, like I already did. So just copy this and then I'll walk through what the commands are. So let's paste that here. And I do need to change the virtual machine IP1. Let's see what it is actually here. So I'm going back to virtual machine 1. I'm going to do out of config. Doesn't exist. Sudo apt install net tools. Oh, it's going to complain. Totally forgot. I need to actually cancel this because we do have that firewall set up. So I'm going to do sudo IP tables flush. I'm going to flush the IP tables flush just so we can run this command, because if not, it's going to get stuck because we're blocking everything else. So let's do that. Perfect. That should work. And then I'm going to have to enable those firewall rules back again. So let's go back and just hit up port 80 and 443. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we're good. Okay, perfect. So let me go back to virtual machine 3. Okay, perfect. So let me finish up all the other settings. So now what I can do, since I did install that, I can look for the IP here, and it's 192.168.152. Let's just copy that and replace that here. Perfect. And then I'll set that up, and then I'll do the same thing for port 80. I'm just basically changing the port here. And then I'm dropping everything else that's not 443. Let's do this. Perfect. So just kind of we are pretty much done with, wait, one more sentence. I need to do that for port 80 as well. And then we should be good. All right, perfect. So that is all set up for virtual machine 3 as well. This is where we're running Wireshark to grab the traffic that we need. So just kind of what we did here with these rules, where I'm just saying this allows incoming HTTPS traffic from virtual machine 1. It adds a rule to the input chain and matches packets coming from virtual machine 1, matches HTTPS traffic, and it allows the connections. For IP tables, I'm just blocking all of the HTTPS traffic from any sources. That's all I'm doing with these commands here. So yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So that is also set up. Now let's go to virtual machine 4, which is this Kali machine here. And we're just going to do a couple of things here as well too. So I'm just going to install a few tools here that already likely exist because this is Kali. And then just to make sure, let's just give it a second. All right. All right, there you go. Yes. So this will just likely update them if needed. Perfect. And then once this is done, we are all set up. I'm just going to start, navigating to stuff. We're going to go to DeepSeek. And then we're going to go pretty much input some test traffic, input some test commands, whatever prompts, things like that. Just watch all the traffic kind of go through stuff and then take a look at it. Perfect. Okay, so this is done now. We are done. So just a recap of what we've done so far. We set up 4 virtual machines. One of them is the one here on the left side. This is where we're just going to go to deepseek.com and put it out and enter our prompts and things like that. We are going to be monitoring the HTTP traffic here. And over here in virtual machine 3, we're actually going to be monitoring the network traffic itself. And then in virtual machine 4, what we'll do is we'll just kind of look up some DNS stuff based on the findings we see here and here in terms of like HTTP traffic and other things like that. So now let me go to this. Just to recap, we did set up some firewall rules just so traffic is only directed to certain proxies in virtual machine 2. And same thing here for virtual machine 3. So I'm just going to close these up and then I'll pretty much open up a web browser and then we'll log into DeepSeek and then we'll start taking a look at stuff. So let me log in here and then I'll be right back. Let's give it a little bit. Let's see what happens. I think our IP table rules the firewall rules might be too strict. So I may need to like kind of loosen it up a little bit as far as like the forwarding. So let's see if I do this. Let me do this. Let's go back here. Let's expand this a little bit. And what I'm going to do is like drop everything. I'm just going to flush all the firewall rules. And then what I'll do is just set up pretty much like just what we need. Just only the necessary rules. So let's do that. So sudo IP tables. And then what's the VM2 IP? It's 192.168.52.138. And then we want port TCP. '80, and then we want to accept that traffic. Perfect. Okay, and then let's do the same thing for 443 and call it 443. Okay, we're good. So let's try this out now. Let me go back to the browser. There you go. Shoot. It works. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we kind of like restricted it way too much. So I'm just using what we need. So yeah, we can navigate to DeepSeek. And just so you can see if this is working or not. Let me enable the proxy in, I'm going to enable the intercept here just so we can see. Once I hit proxy, go to intercept is on, and then I hit enter, and it's loading. It actually loaded, but we didn't see anything here. And I'm guessing I just need to set this up manually in Firefox. So I'll go to settings, and I'll do proxy settings, user manual proxy 192.168.52.138. That's the IP address for our virtual machine 2. And then I'll just do enter. And I'll leave intercept on. And then hit enter here. And it's still complaining. What am I doing here? So let's see. Actually, wait. I think I know what it is. So let's go to proxy settings in Burp. And let's edit this. And that's exactly what it is. It's listening only just a loopback. So let's set it to all interfaces. Hit enter. Yes. And this should be fine now. Now it's complaining about the certificate. So I need to install Burp search. So let's do HTTP again. Burp. Install that certificate. We have it. So let's go to certain settings again. Do certificates. And then I'm going to view certificates and just import one. We downloaded that. So where did it go? Downloads. There you go. And then trust this. Okay, perfect. Now we should just be able to navigate to DeepSeek with no issues. And let me disable the intercept here because I think it was kind of catching it. There you go. So I'll put it back on here. Intercept is on. When I hit enter, we should see that traffic. Perfect. So this is actually good. Now, let me go back to virtual machine 3, which is where we're actually going to capture network traffic. But I don't think that should work now because we are pretty much forwarding everything through Burp on this machine here. And we're going to have to reroute traffic or pretty much create like a copy of the traffic and send it to virtual machine 3, which is only set up to do like network monitoring. So let me bring that back up. And this is what we're going to do. Now we can verify that it's working. So that's fine. So I'm just going to do deepseek again. I didn't enable the intercept. So everything is working fine. And then if I enable intercept and then I hit deepseek, we see it here. So good. Okay, good. So this is all set up. So now we need to actually forward traffic from virtual machine 2 to 3 for the TCP stuff, the network packets that we're interested in. So let's just say for now, let me grab those real quick and then we'll set this up and then we'll be able to kind of carry on with that. So 1 second. So in order to do this, I need to do a couple of things on virtual machine 2, which is where our Burp proxy is running. I do need to forward traffic first of all. I think right now we're blocking a lot of it. So I'm just going to allow it to forward traffic to begin with. And that's good. And then what we're going to do next is pretty much create like a network mirroring. We'll set up a network mirroring to virtual machine 3, which is interested in the network packets. So let me paste that command as well too, and I'll explain in a second. And then I'll hit enter here. And then I'll do the same thing and then do port 443. 443. Perfect. So just to explain what I did here with that one, we're modifying all the packets before routing happens. If it matches packets coming from virtual machine 1, and if it matches HTTP traffic or HTTPS traffic, then we duplicate it and send it to virtual machine 3 for inspection. So this should be good. So now let me go back to, I can close the terminal here. Let me go back to Burp. I'll enable this, hit enter. We can see Burp is intercepting. That's fine. Now what I do need to check is if virtual machine 3 is intercepting traffic. So let's take a look at that as well. So I'm just going to pretty much start TCP dump. Just to make sure we can do this, and since I have this command already, just to explain it, what I'm doing here is I'm running TCP dump on my at 0, which is my network interface on host, and I'm checking for traffic from host 192.168.152.129, which is essentially the IP address of virtual machine 1. And I'm pretty much filtering for port 80 and 443. That's what I'm interested in. And also, I'm saving that to a file called deepseek traffic pcap. And what I'm actually doing here is pretty much, I want to see this also on the terminal. So I'm doing all of this at the same time. So if I hit enter, and then I'll kind of disable Burp's intercept on this side and just keep running traffic. In fact, I'll just do anything, like just to see if I see anything pop up here. There we go. So let me disable this here. I'll hit enter for this command. And that's no such device at 0. Okay, let me see. What is it saying here? What's my... Oh, yeah, ENS33. Good Lord. I'm so used to that. So let's put that ENS33, because this is pretty much ENS33. That's the actual interface name. So perfect. So now we can see that. Let me do this. Let me cancel that, because I want it to be like a clear. There we go. So let's run it so that way we can see it live. So this is disabled. I'm just going to hit deepseek.com. I don't see anything. I'll go to Google. It's working fine. I don't see anything really, which is interesting, because I should actually be seeing all the packets that are coming in and so forth. But let me make sure. Let me do this. So let me go back here. DeepSeek. Still not. Oh, yeah. The reason I'm not seeing anything is because I haven't forwarded the traffic from virtual machine 2. So that's what I was trying to explain. My apologies there. So yes, so we shouldn't see anything because I haven't forwarded the traffic or mirrored the traffic from virtual machine 2. So now let's cancel that. I'll just hit cancel. Clear that up, and then what I'm going to do is set up the pretty much the traffic rerouting. So let's do that as well too. So the way we do that is I'm going to open up a terminal, and then I'm just going to paste these commands in. So over here, paste, and what I'm doing here is just forwarding all traffic, making sure traffic can be forwarded. Enter, that's good. We get the confirmation. And now the most important part, which is setting up their routing. So I'll put the commands in, and then I'll explain what they do. I'll hit enter over there, and then I'll also hit enter here. We'll do it for port 443. We just did it for port 80. I'll do it for port 443. So I'll hit enter. And just to kind of walk through that command, what it basically means is I'm modifying all the packages, and I'm going to do some routing if the packets match incoming traffic from virtual machine 1, and then also if it matches HTTP or HTTPS traffic. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm duplicating that traffic and sending it to virtual machine 3. So now when I set up, when I run TCP dump again, we should see this if all the routing is working fine. So I'll just close this out, go back to Burp, and then I'm going to fire up TCP dump again. We already had that. We should be able to see stuff here. And now if I do this, if the routing is working, we should see that. But I don't see anything yet. So not sure what's going on. Let's do google.com. Okay, let me check the actual packet file just to see. Maybe I'm not seeing this well, so let me check the actual package. So I checked that and I'm not seeing anything, and I think I know what the problem is right there. We are listening we're listening to packets from VM1, which shouldn't work because we're routing everything through VM2 and mirroring it. So let me cancel that here, and then I'll just change that slightly to 138 because that's the IP address for virtual machine 2, which is where our proxy is. So now let's see. Let me close this out, or let's just go. Oops, my screen is blanking out. There you go. Let's go back to Firefox, and then I'm gonna do deepseek.com. There you see, now you can see that it's saying it's got 247 packets. You can see that change in here. So that is working. If I intercept that, since nothing's going to flow through yet, come on, why is this thing all keeps doing that? So if nothing's going to flow, you shouldn't see anything. And I think Google is what's running all this stuff. Let's close this out. That's why it keeps changing. Now it's off. So drop this packet because I don't want that. So intercept is on. I'm going to hit this. Our packets here shouldn't change. You notice this is 285. So it's not grabbing anything yet. So if I hit deepseek, it's paused. You still don't see that change. And if I forward that packet, you'll see that change. There you go. Perfect. So everything is working now. Perfect. Now let's just log into deepseek and do what we've been here for. Like, enter some prompts, whatever, do all the fancy stuff, and then come back and inspect them later. So I'm going to log in for a second, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, great. So I'm logged into DeepSeek right now. So this is perfect. Now we're on the DeepSeek site. We have our web traffic interceptor here, which will log all the traffic. If we go to HTTP history, we can see everything. Just because we're going to do this. So let me see. This is all good. This is good. We'll filter later for DeepSeek stuff, but I'm not going to block traffic. I'm not going to intercept traffic. I'm just going to let everything flow. What we're doing here is we're putting our commands in here, our prompts. On this right side, we are intercepting web traffic. At the same time, we're forwarding it to our network packet inspector. So you can see that that's still going up and stuff. Our packet, say, got 2004. Anytime I enter something, you'll see that change down here and so forth. So yeah, so let's say, who are you? Who ate you? I like that. Who are you? We hit enter. It's doing its thinking here. You notice how traffic is just going up. It's shooting up. And, we're getting our response. So right now, you're not seeing anything because we're just interacting with the application. But what we're going to do is eventually we'll go into Burp and look at the, traffic history. We'll look at things and APIs it's trying to call, all of those things. We'll look at all that. So yeah, right now, just leave it blank. Or I'll just put it on the HTTP history tab so we can see that changing. And it says, greetings, I'm DeepSeek, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then I'll say something like, I don't know why I'm saying that. Where are you located? Let's see. So right now, everything is working. We haven't really touched virtual machine 4 because the only thing we'll do here is like, once we're done, we'll kind of, use like other tools. Oh, come on. I hate this. What is going on here? There you go. I should just set these things to not sleep. That's what it is. But everything is working fine. I exist purely in the digital realm, so I don't have a physical location, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's give it some more challenges. Can you write up a hello world program in Python? And it's doing its thinking. I'm thinking the next thing I'm going to say is, do you monitor my keystrokes? Stuff like that. Okay, print hello world. There you go. We got it. Do you monitor my keystrokes? One of the popular things people are saying, right? DeepSeek is sending your data. Anyway, so right now you're not seeing anything. I'm going to stop this. There's enough traffic we got. And then we'll go into Burp and look at our packets capture later as well too. So this is enough. Like we've kind of chit chatted with this a little bit. So let's say, what is the best LLM? That is not cool, but yeah, it's doing its thinking. We got enough stuff. Okay, just enough things to, do or start our investigation. So Let's give it one more second, and then I'm just going to pause that, and then we'll go into Burp. Okay, perfect. I don't care about all that information, blah, blah, blah. All right, good. Now we're going to move from this VM, and then we're going to go into Burp. So let's make Burp a little bigger. And just so we want to look at DeepSeek, right? So let's see. DeepSeek, we're just kind of inspecting packets just to see if there's anything weird here. Going down there, blah, blah, blah. DeepSeek. So I'm just going to select one of the URLs. Let's do this. And I'm going to add it to scope. Yes. And then I'm going to do like a filter, and I want to show only in scope items. So let's just do apply. So now everything is like all DeepSeek, right? The goal here, right, as you kind of investigate this, is you're trying to see things like look at all kinds of methods. Like, actually, let me see if I can do more filters. So let's do, where is it? Hold on, let me cancel that. The goal is you're looking for everything in terms of like get, post, put, delete, stuff like that. As you can see, there are all kinds of methods. So far, everything we've done here are like get methods. It looks like it, where the goal is to look for suspicious domains in here, to try to see some kind of like the data size in terms of like the packets that are being sent, the raw HTTP data and all of that stuff. And ideally look for like suspicious API endpoints and all of those kinds of things. So I'm just kind of going through like just to see if there's anything. Let me do this. Let's see. Actually, let me go back to DeepSeek, and what I'll do is, oh, there we go. Let's just do some more. Let's put, okay, tell me a story. I'm just trying to get more packets in this thing. And I think I should see more than this. Let's do this. Let me re-enable this. And go to WebSocket history. This is all nothing. Okay. Okay, so let me remove this. Let me remove this. Yeah, apply. Okay, perfect. Just so I could see everything, and then I'm gonna drag this down a little bit. So DeepSeek, like I said, we're looking for like anything that's kind of suspicious. We're looking for weird API calls and stuff like that. There's a IC API version, whatever. There's a country code. Anyway, so these are kind of the things we're looking for. Like there's post. This one is login. I think when I logged in. Wait, no, that's like Google Play Store. Sorry. So everything DeepSeek. There's DeepSeek chat. That's the same one I'm looking at. But anyway, so as I mentioned, this is how you would pretty much see all the web traffic, just to see if it's doing anything weird. I don't see anything in the request body here. Well, this is a get method anyway, so it shouldn't matter. But let's see. There's chat.deepseek. This API uses login. This is what it pretty much sends the request for my login. And yep, it sent my username and password here. Device ID. So, okay, so device ID, let me see. I think that looks like a base 64 encoded. Let's grab that. Let me grab that. I'll grab that here. And let's do something like Firefox, and let's do, oops, close this out. Let's do CyberChef. And let's see if we can do that. So CyberChef, and I want to basically decode this. Base 64 from base 64. Come on. What's going on here? Bake. Let's do that. Okay, so it's a little jumbled, but anyway, when you look at the traffic, it's saying it's collecting my username, password, base 64, device ID, and so forth. I haven't seen anything else that's like really standing out yet. Static. All these are like I don't see anything. Chat. But anyway, so this is how you would pretty much. Okay, there's another API that's create POW challenge. I mean, you could look at all this, so there's a target path, chat completion, all of that stuff. Anyway, but that's it. So that's for the website of things. You can kind of look at all the traffic if you're trying to inspect this. What I'm going to do next is just go into the PCAP file itself, and then we'll look at some of the things we found, such as like IP addresses and so forth. I mean, like I said, this shouldn't be anything jumping out of you. We do see all the IP addresses for DeepSeek here. Like if you look at let me see if I can filter this by host DeepSeek. So some of these, what we can do, and now let me go into virtual machine 4. And then we could do like who is lookups for these IP addresses and so forth. I don't think it should be anything surprising. It's likely going to be something not based out of wherever we are. But let's do a who is. Oops, down here. Let's clear this up first. And then let's do a who is 104.18.26.90. What is going on here? Who is 104.18.26.90, and it pretty much gives us who owns this. I think they're rerouting through Cloudflare, so it's showing that as that for now because they're routing through Cloudflare IP addresses. That's what it is. Anyway, yeah. So nothing. I don't see. Let's see. Maybe look at. Also, there's some stuff going through Baidu. I think I've seen someone mention this online as well, but I'm not sure what the relationship here is. But yeah. So it's okay. I'm just looking for things that look weird, I guess. But anyway, you get the idea. So this is how you would look for those. Let me go back to the side of things, and let's see if we can look at our actual captured packets, if anything. All right, so I'm gonna stop this now, and then we'll take a look at the PCAP file. Okay, so let's open up Wireshark and see if we can just look at the PCAP file that we captured. So it should be fairly straightforward. So I'll just do Wireshark. Oops. These VMs keep turning off. I don't know what's going on there. But let's do Wireshark. Or did I not install Wireshark in this one? And then we look for DeepSeek PCAP. Wireshark not found. Sudo apt install Wireshark. Sudo apt. I guess I didn't install Wireshark on this one. It's weird. All right, cool. Yes, let's do that. Yes, yes, yes. We want that. Okay, Wireshark is done. Let's put our command back in there. Wireshark deepseek pcap. And there we go. So now we have this. This is all opened up now. And as you can see, we can actually apply a filter. I'm just going to do IP to that address. And I'll change that to 192.168.1. What was it? 52. Sorry, 52.129. We're trying to see everything that's from VM1, but it probably wouldn't because it's looking for everything with VM2. So what's the IP address in this one? Let's see. 138. Okay, perfect. Okay, there you go. So now we see all the traffic that came from that. And we can see source, destination. So all of these. So now let's look at, so what we're interested in is just looking up some IP addresses here. And just to clarify, the reason we didn't see anything from VM1 is because we're essentially mirroring the traffic. So if I do this, there shouldn't be anything. But 138, we should see that. So over here, we're looking at source IP addresses and destination. Nothing, I don't know. But anyway, so this is how you would look for anything weird and so forth. You can go really deep down into each of the frames and look at what's going on and so forth. But yeah, we're not going to spend time on this, but this is how you would set it up. And this is how you would look for things that you probably are interested in what do you call it? Wireshark. The only thing I'm going to click here is just kind of statistics, and I'm going to see if I can find let me look at the DNS stuff. Let's see. So close that out. Close that out. Let me see if I can find some. So let's look at conversations. Where's conversations? There you go. Nothing really crazy here. I'll close that out. I can look at WebSockets. I don't know why this is acting weird. Let's see endpoints. Nothing crazy I can see here. But anyway, so this is pretty much it. Like, this is how you would set it up. If you kind of got any IP addresses here that you were interested in, you could do, or if you found some domains in burpsuite on this side, you could look up like things like virus total, look up suspicious domains and things like that. But yeah, the goal of this was to kind of help you set it up and see how you could inspect traffic on your own, and look for things that are either like suspicious or whatever and so forth in your in this exercise. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna stop here, and thanks for joining me, and let me know what you find when you do your own analysis, and then yeah, I'll be interested to hear that. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'd love to hear it. So all right, sounds good, and I'll catch you guys later.